Imagine finding an old, oversized dollar coin in a drawer and almost tossing it aside because it looks too common to matter. Now imagine discovering that same coin represents a former US president, the Apollo moon landing, and one of the most interesting chapters in modern American coin history. That's the story of the 1971 Eisenhower Dollar. And before this video ends, I'll reveal a little-known detail that many owners completely miss when examining these coins. The year was 1971. America was entering a new decade filled with change. Just a few years earlier, astronauts had landed on the moon, and the nation was still honoring the memory of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who had passed away in 1969. To recognize his legacy, the United States Mint introduced a brand new dollar coin featuring Eisenhower's portrait on the front. But this wasn't just another presidential coin. The reverse design carried a powerful connection to one of humanity's greatest achievements. If you look closely, you'll see an eagle descending toward the lunar surface while carrying an olive branch. The design was inspired by the Apollo 11 mission insignia. Think about that for a moment. Every 1971 Eisenhower Dollar combines presidential history and space exploration history in a single coin. That's one reason collectors continue talking about it more than 50 years later. When Americans first saw the Eisenhower Dollar, one thing stood out immediately: its size. The coin was much larger than quarters, dimes, or nickels. In fact, many people found it inconvenient to carry. That may sound like a disadvantage, but it's actually one reason collectors enjoy them today. Holding an Eisenhower Dollar feels different from handling modern coins. It has weight, it feels substantial, and it immediately captures attention. Now here's where things become more interesting. Not all 1971 Eisenhower dollars are the same. Collectors first look for mint marks. Coins produced in Philadelphia have no mint mark. Coins struck in Denver carry a D. Meanwhile, special collector versions were produced in San Francisco. Those San Francisco coins are particularly interesting because some were struck in 40% silver composition. That surprises many people because by the early 1970s, most circulating US coins no longer contained silver. These special issues created a distinct category within the Eisenhower Dollar series and helped increase collector interest over time. But mint marks are only part of the story. Condition matters too. Imagine two people each own a 1971 Eisenhower Dollar. One coin spent years changing hands in everyday use. The other remained carefully stored since the day it was issued. Even though both coins share the same date, collectors may view them very differently. Sharp details, original luster, and strong eye appeal often attract greater interest in the marketplace. That's why experienced collectors spend so much time studying small details that casual observers might overlook. And here's something many new collectors don't realize. The 1971 issue was the very first year of the Eisenhower Dollar series. First-year coins often hold special appeal because they represent the beginning of a chapter in coinage history. For many collectors, owning the first issue feels like owning the opening page of a story. Now, let's talk about value realistically. You may have seen dramatic headlines online claiming certain coins are worth enormous amounts of money. The truth is much more balanced. Most 1971 Eisenhower dollars are collected primarily for their historical significance, condition, and variety characteristics. Values vary depending on factors such as mint mark, preservation, silver content, grading, and collector demand. No one can accurately determine a coin's value based solely on the date. That's why careful examination is always important. One fascinating aspect of the hobby is that collectors often notice things most people never see. Some search for stronger strikes. Others focus on specific varieties. And some spend years building complete Eisenhower dollar sets. To an average person, two coins may appear identical. To an experienced collector, those same coins can tell entirely different stories. And now for the lesser-known fact we mentioned earlier. Many specialists consider the Eisenhower Dollar one of the last truly large U.S. circulation dollar coins. Because of its size and connection to both Eisenhower and Apollo 11, it occupies a unique place in American numismatic history that later dollar coins simply don't replicate. That combination gives the series a dedicated following even today. In many ways, the 1971 Eisenhower Dollar represents more than money. It reflects a nation honoring a president, celebrating technological achievement, and entering a new era. Every scratch, every detail, and every surviving example carries a small piece of that story. So if you happen to find a 1971 Eisenhower Dollar in a collection, a coin jar, or a family keepsake box, don't dismiss it too quickly. Take a closer look. Check for mint marks. Examine the condition. Learn its story. You might discover that what first seemed ordinary is actually a fascinating piece of American history. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to HF Coins World for more coin discoveries, collector insights, and hidden stories behind America's most interesting coins. And before you go, check your own collection. You never know what piece of history might be waiting right in front of you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.